Hello, everyone, to the Gridiron Doghouse. It's been a while since I posted. I just didn't have the time last year, and I think I started just too late, and I just didn't have the time, the time to record and to create content or plan content or whatever. So I think I'm starting early enough and there'll be enough, news that's coming through for me to make videos about and all that. Of course, there's not going to be a schedule for this. I'll post when I can / when I want to, So the spring games have come and gone. I went to Georgia spring game. That is why I am starting to make these videos now for this season, 2026. I'm going to be talking about that later on. I might post some videos about other spring games, about, if they have, film that's out there I can watch, and, what I've been hearing for the news. Leading up to August, I'll be posting here and there. Again, there's not going to be a schedule. So, again, this Georgia spring game, I was just there yesterday, so that's what I'm going to mainly be talking about today. It's going to be a Georgia related video. For anyone that's new, I am a Georgia fan, obviously. So if you hate that and you're a Tennessee fan or an Auburn fan or a Georgia Tech fan, screw off. So I'm just kidding. I not really, but I will be talking about the three teams I just mentioned. I'll be talking about most teams that are relevant. So I actually have some things to say about Auburn. I have some things to say about Georgia Tech. So you'll be hearing from me later about those, but today I'm just going to be talking about Georgia. I do hate your teams, though. So I think the biggest things I was thinking about when I was going into this game is who our receivers are going to be, how our defensive backs are going to look, and how our backup quarterback's going to look. We know that Gunner is going to be the first string quarterback. Nothing's going to change that. But who's going to be behind them? Is it going to be Puglisi? Is it going to be Montgomery? Is it going to be, whoever? So those are my big questions, especially the receiver thing, especially because we lost a big playmaker in Zachariah Branch and another one in Dylan Bell. Those are probably, I know Zachariah Branch was the biggest playmaker on our offense last year. Dylan Bell was probably right behind him, and we lost both of them. So other than that, we haven't seen a whole lot from our receivers. We also lost Oscar Delp in a tight end, so we kept Lawson Lucky, but behind Lawson Lucky, I wasn't sure what was there. So that was my questions going in. So the first thing I wanted to point out, we are going to be good again. I do think that we are going to be a top 5 team again this year. I think we'll be top of the SEC. Now, again, we do have some of the most returning talent this year. I think we do have the most returning talent in the SEC for the Bulldogs. So the first thing I wanted to make sure I point at is Jalen Riddell, the tight end. He is going to be a problem. There were moments where he reminded me of Brock Bowers. I'm not saying he's Brock Bowers. I'm not saying he has the same talent as Brock Bowers. I think we or no one else will ever see the talent like Brock Bowers ever again. He was a one-time talent, but Jalen Riddell is going to be a problem for defenses. I really like what I saw from him. He had a few catches, here and there all throughout the game. I really like what I saw from him. I think the tight end room overall is very stacked. I won't say it's loaded. I don't think we have a talent like a Brock Bowers or a Darnell Washington, but I do think that he will be, or our tight ends in general, is going to be very good. And the next thing, it was the second string quarterback. So, we went into this, thinking Puglisi's the second string quarterback. That was the case last year with Montgomery right behind him. Of course, we can't judge a quarterback or any other player just by one spring game. They have scrimmage 1, scrimmage 2, scrimmage 3 all throughout spring. Scrimmage 3 being the spring game. So you can judge talent just by the spring game, but you can't judge overall, like, oh, this guy's bad, don't play him, or this guy's going to be great, he's going to win the Heisman or whatever, just by one spring game. You just can't. So, but what I did notice was Puglisi, out of the rest of the backup quarterbacks, was probably the weakest out of all of them. He made some boneheaded decisions, throwing the ball where it shouldn't be thrown. A lot of balls being batted down, not just Puglisi throwing the ball, but a lot of balls thrown by all the quarterbacks except for Gunner was batted down. So I do think Puglisi was the weakest out of the rest of them. He just didn't have a good day. Maybe he looked great the other two scrimmages, but he just didn't look great today. I just don't think. I do think there's some talent behind him that could be, better than Puglisi is right now. I could be wrong. Again, you can't judge everything by one spring game. But Montgomery definitely has some moments where he shined through some beautiful balls, far down the field, up in the middle, from side to side, making some good decisions with the ball. And then he made some boneheaded decisions and threw a few picks. So a couple of them, was just the defense making good plays. I'll get back to the defense after this. But one of them was just dumb. Like, he shouldn't have thrown the ball. But I definitely think Montgomery looked better yesterday than Puglisi did. Speaking of the offense, Talon Taylor reminded me of George Pickens. I think he is going to be the number one target, other than maybe some of the tight ends this year. I think he's probably the number one wide receiver right now. Now don't get me wrong, he has plenty of competition when it comes to the wide receiver room, which I was concerned about going into this game, but I think he is probably number one right now. He had some amazing catches. He will be a problem for defenses, no doubt. Watch out for Talon Taylor. Our running backs in general, our room, we are RBU. There's no doubt about it. Georgia is RBU. We always bring in running back talent, no matter what year it is. So, of course, last year we had Nate Frazier, Chauncey Bowens, Phillips, Bo Walker. We didn't see Frazier at all. He got hurt the first snap of the game. He said that he, tweaked his ankle. He had a tweaked ankle all spring, and then Kirby just decided to pull him. He thought, there's no reason to risk him hurting himself more, because we know what Frazier can do, right? But we saw a lot of Bowens, we saw a lot of Phillips, and we saw a lot of Walker, and they all three look great. We definitely are not lacking in the running back room at all. They're going to be forces to reckon with. So, along with the running backs, I wanted to mention this guy. Everyone has been talking about him, especially after yesterday. This guy kind of came out of nowhere. But Bryson Beaver, the freshman quarterback, he looks like to be a contender of at least the third string quarterback. This guy is good. So coming out of high school, he was committed to Oregon, and then he switched his commitment to the Dogs. And am I glad that he did? He played near the end of the game, most of the fourth quarter. and he looked amazing. Like, no, I wouldn't say amazing, but he did look great. Like he has some legs. He can run around. He threw the ball in very, very tight pockets. Like he was. I am very excited to see this kid's future at Georgia. Hopefully, we can hold on to him, especially these days. Now that people see his talent, I'm sure all throughout the season, and then during the off season next year, people are going to be offering him something because everyone's wanting to take from us all the time. So, but definitely keep an eye on Bryson Beaver. If he does stay at Georgia, he will be a problem, definitely. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of going through the offense right now, and then I'm going to get to the defense. But that was my main concern. I never have much concern about Kirby's defense. I mean, of course, after the last 2 years, you have some concern about the talent and the experience of the secondary, but I'll get to it. Braden Fogel had a 32-yard catch. This guy, like, keep an eye on him too, right behind Taylor. This guy's brand new. Along with Jeremy Bell, I'll just go over all the wide receivers. They all look great. Like I said, where I was concerned about the receiver room, tight end and wide receiver, and they all look great. Brandon Fogel, of course, had a 32-yard catch. Jeremy Bell can ball. There's no doubt. So keep an eye on those two three, Taylor as well. Keep an eye on those three coming this season. I think all three of them are going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're going to have a lot of catches. So Jake Bobo played 2 snaps. This is the son of Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator. The fact that he is we saw what he can do. He can do just about nothing, right? I want to go on a little tangent here because I feel like some favoritism is happening here a little bit. I'm not afraid to call out the Dogs when they're doing something dumb. Keeping this kid on the team is dumb. Why is Jake Bobo on the team? I know he's the kid of Mike Bobo, who is also the quarterback coach. Sure, but like Jake Bobo should not be at Georgia. He does not have the talent, especially compared to Puglisi and Montgomery and Beaver, especially, to even be in the same room with them. Why is he there? Why? He could definitely, if he is talented enough to be playing at Georgia, he is talented enough to play somewhere else. I heard Auburn needs a quarterback. So I should have mentioned this kid when I was talking about the tight ends, of course. But Caden Prothro, true freshman, he looks great too. So like I said, our tight end room is stacked. It looks like so. Add Prothro to the list, man. Like he looks great. Just wanted to mention him. Keep an eye on him. Definitely this season and the next coming season as well. Again, he's a true freshman, so he'll be here for a while. So just watch out for Prothro and his talent. Something I did notice. So there wasn't. Of course, I want to mention the goods and the bads, of course. First thing, not many throws up the middle. I feel like during this game, this spring game, we focused a lot on explosive plays and running back. So in this game, especially, we didn't see a whole lot of throwing up the middle. Like none of the quarterbacks, Gunner included, threw very much up the middle at all. something I thought I would mention. Of course, I'm sure we can. I'm sure Gunnar can. We've seen him do it last season. But peace of mind that we have the ability to do that. Like I mentioned before, very, very explosive. And Kirby made it a huge point before the spring game that they have been working on being more explosive. That was definitely lacking last year, was the explosive plays, and they definitely had a lot of explosive plays, over 30-yard catches. The running backs breaking, Bo Phillips, for instance, breaking free and running 10, 20 yards. I really liked what I saw from the explosive standpoint. We were very, very explosive yesterday. Hopefully that can continue during the season. So something else that I definitely think was a negative was our wide receivers especially has looked great yesterday, catching some crazy circus balls, one-handed catches a couple times as well, but not a whole lot of separation. There was a couple times where the wide receiver was by himself, which makes you question the defense sometimes, but you didn't see, when they were, racing each other, the wide receiver never really made some separation from the defender, which was a concern coming into the spring game, because it was a problem last year. Like none of our receivers could really create separation at all. So hopefully we can get that squared away. That is one of my concerns continuing into the season, is that we can't create separation. We need to be able to create separation, because we can't be asking Gunnar to be throwing nothing but 50-50 balls or very, very tight squeezes, because that just heightens the probability of it bouncing off someone's hands or whatever, and it's another interception. So I definitely think we need to be creating some more separation. A lot of starters didn't play, so I wanted to talk about this before I started talking about the defense. But a lot of starters didn't play, so we don't really know exactly how Georgia's going to look during the regular season. We saw a lot of freshmen and sophomores that didn't play last year play a lot during the game. Of course, that's the point of G-Day, for the every guy to get reps. But we didn't see very much of Lawson Lucky. We didn't see Raylan Wilson at all. Again, Nate Frazier was hurt, but we didn't see him barely at all. So we don't really know how exactly Georgia's going to look, how explosive they're going to be, what they're going to favor. Are they going to be a run first team? Are they going to be a throw down the middle first team? Who knows? So I after this game, I still don't think we know a whole lot about what they're going to look like during the season. I think the big point of the game yesterday was to see how much talent and what we have behind the guys that are playing now, because we didn't see a whole lot of starters yesterday. So the defense, this part is about the defense especially. So the defense definitely outplayed the offense. I think they both sides of the ball was low scoring. There was a few interceptions, crazy defensive plays that I was really impressed about. I really like where we're at with the defense. I think we're going to be great again. I think again, I did just say that we don't know exactly how Georgia's going to look during the season, but I think this is going to be a team where the defense will win it for us. Which is, I think that's how Kirby prefers it anyway, is our defense being the thing that wins the games for us. Brylan Connolly, the transfer from USC, looks very strong. He looks very, very strong. I think he will be a great asset. He's going to be on the field majority of the time when the defense is on the field. Keep an eye on him. I think he's going to be a a problem for offenses and wide receivers. He was all everywhere. He was running all around he was all over the field. KJ Bolden, Chris Cole, and Justin Williams. Those are my three names I wanted to pull out. Of course, we didn't see a whole lot of KJ Bolden yesterday, but Chris Cole and Justin Williams definitely played. Keep an eye on those three. I think those are probably the biggest talents that we have, not just on the defense, but on the entire team, KJ Bolden especially. So definitely keep an eye on them. They will be a problem. I guarantee. Chris Cole and KJ Bolden were a problem last year, but the throw Justin Williams in there, they will continue to be issues. Barnes and Dickens are the two new guys I think we're going to see a lot of play time from, defensive backs. They will definitely be seeing some play time this year. So there's not a whole lot of difference that I saw at the defensive line. I did see a lot of penetration through the offensive line. So that makes me feel good about our defensive line. They look very strong. They're getting to the quarterback quickly. But again, that creates another issue. I do think our offensive line still needs some work. I don't think they're as, dominant as they were, back, 21, 22. It didn't seem like a lot of any of the quarterbacks had a whole lot of time to make a decision with the ball. So I want to see some improvement on the offensive line side, but overall, I think this is going to be a team that you are going to worry about if they're on your schedule. But that's really all I wanted to say. I know that was kind of all over the place. I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube thing, but I'm excited for what Georgia has in store. And that's it for this video. I just wanted to, since the spring games have started, again, I think this is a great time to start the channel again. Please, if anyone watches this, if you have any suggestions about if you want me to talk about your team or whatever, or if you have any questions, please let me know so I can, it'll be great to know what my viewers want so I can create videos about it. More will be coming. Of course, these videos will be more consistent once the actual season starts, but since the spring games have started, it's giving me something to talk about. So thank you guys for watching, and go Dogs.